Good evening, and have a bit of shore leave. Welcome to the third episode of Rogue Advice. Welcome to the blissfully fun and beginnings of the future long-running series, Rogue Advice, a D&D TTRPG sports and everything podcast. Originally started as Bard Advice, where you, the viewers, send in your questions, and I, along with the chat, will try to answer them. I'm your host. You may know me as the Rogue, the Pirate Archaeologist, Pirate, and there are some that call me Chris. At the top of our show, I would like to take this time to welcome all of our regulars, River, Puffy Cheeto, James, the Council of Chris, and would like to welcome any new individuals joining for their first stream. We would like to remind everybody to please like, comment, subscribe, turn on those notifications, rate the podcast. While it's not necessary, if you would like to contribute to the growth of the channel financially, you could do so at PayPal, Cashapp, or Venmo. Those are the links. The links are also in the description of the podcast. You can send any questions you have to roguebardadvice@gmail.com. And I would be remiss to say, if you haven't already joined the Discord, please do so. It's the same Discord as Bard Advice, and we have a lot of bloody fun over there. Still working on merchandise, but I'm thinking, and chat, let me know if this is a good plan, if we make it to 25 episodes and get 100 subscribers, I'll set up a merch store. Can we do that? Only if you believe. And that word, believe. Well, darn tootin', that brings us into Art Corner. But before that, let's see what chat has to say. Ron, how do you rogue Bardadians? Happy Friday, Pirate, from Puffy Cheeto. Thank you. Good evening. Visual and sound is working. Yes, I'm having a little technical difficulties with that. Sorry. I set up in a new hotel and I'm rekeying and reconfiguring things. So I'm working on it as I go. So hopefully by like episode 25, we won't have any glitches. River posted a link to the Discord in the chat. So if you guys head over there, join the Discord, you'll see me over there. You'll see River over there. You'll see the Council of Chris over there. So let's get some piratey merch. Yes, I want some piratey merch. I have the bandana, but this isn't my merch. So to start the show, Ron just asked what happened to my finger. Well, I was doing a little artificer maintenance on the field vehicle, and I put a rotary file in a drill press, and I was trying to rotary something out, and the rotary file snagged my finger. Just snagged it a little bit. Got a little nick. Put a Band-Aid on it. I'll be fine. Ruby, thank you for asking. I am actually in Van Buren, Arkansas at the moment. I will be here for this weekend. I will leave Monday or Tuesday, and I'll be heading back to Oklahoma City, Norman area, where we have another project going on, and that project should take me till Friday, at which point I can move everything back into the pirate office, and we should be good there. But currently I'm in Van Buren, Arkansas. Well, that's it. You're fired. It's time for necromancy. No, River. I had a thought and I had an idea and I want to run it by you later, but we could discuss that later. A Rogue Advice branded 12-pounder cannon, especially if it can be mounted to the broadside of my car. I got a video to show you, Chris. I have to find it. It's a funny video. Apparently somebody put Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas song to somebody firing Roman candle out the side of his truck at police cars. So You might be onto something there. You're not working if I'm not putting those. You're absolutely right. Anyway, let's get on to Art Corner this week, guys. Thank you for all of that, guys, and I do appreciate the support. Um, so let's get on with it. Uh, so this pirate is quite a bit late to the party when it comes to this week's Art Corner. Few of you may have already watched the show, but it took me approximately 4 days to binge the entirety of 3 seasons. The show in question has been off the air since 2013, and up until recently, with no prospect of coming back onto the airways. The show in question, Ted Lasso. This show is and was some of Jason Sudeikis' best work, in my opinion. And not because Jason is a talented individual, but for the cast he put together behind him. It was a show like no other. Unlike other shows, Ted Lasso made you actually care about the characters. It wasn't like you were watching a TV show or watching a show, but it made you feel like you were connected somehow. You actually cared what happened to Kaylee, to Roy, to Rebecca. You rooted for Rupert to be taken off his high horse and knocked down a few pegs. You felt the racial disparities that Sam had to deal with and the courage of Collins to finally tell his team that he's gay. And it made you want to taste those, what I can only imagine to be delicious biscuits that Ted baked every morning for Rebecca. I know, we call them cookies. It hits you in the feels. Now that that's out of the way, I think it's my duty to inform you that Nick Mohammed, Nate, has been teasing fans for months about whether a season 4 is coming or not. However, 16 hours ago, he posted to his X account that he was having to reschedule some of his comedy tour dates in and around England because of some filming that he couldn't put off. While announcing this to the world, he was holding a copy of Ted's Believe sign behind the official statement he was reading. All the while telling his fans, followers, that he doesn't want there to be any speculation on what he's filming and that an official announcement is forthcoming. I do know this much. Jason Sudeikis is on board with talk of a reboot while taking things in a new direction. Maybe that direction is the AFC Richmond women's team that was teased at the end of season 3. Who knows? But I can tell you this. Whatever happens, it'll feel like one of two things. Either coming home or you never left. Let's see what Chad has to say. Buffy Cheeto hasn't watched it yet, but it's on her list. She's always years behind when things come out. I know. Have you finished the Star Wars saga that you started? Or how about the Marvel saga that you started? Anthony Stewart Head plays such a great scumbag. You know, he does, but he plays an even better good guy. Buffy, Angel, he just plays those quintessential Brits. Sorry, I had to drink a little bit. What else is everybody saying? River thinks it's a great show. Yes, it is. Bionic Blonde. You can always stream it later, Bionic Blonde. It's not anything you have to watch immediately. I do things in excess when I start something, so I like to try and finish it out. But he was great as Giles. He absolutely was great as Giles. That's actually where I first saw him as Giles on on Buffy. Marvel Universe. She only has 5 more movies and 4 more shows to go. We'll finally be out of Marvel hell. Then you get to start the DC hell. I've not seen Ted, just as I've not seen any streaming stuff. Big gaping hole in my social awareness. Kirk, it's fine. The only reason I even started watching Ted Lasso is I wanted to previously, but I have a very big not disrespect or anything, but I have a very big dislike for Apple products that's not either the Apple IIe or the Apple Macintosh. But I can tell you this, the Apple streaming, Apple TV, in my opinion, isn't, while it's an Apple product, it isn't an Apple product, if you get what I mean. They make really good shows. I'm gonna think about starting that. The next show I watch on Apple TV is probably going to be the one with Harrison Ford and Jason, the guy from How I Met Your Mother. If anybody can tell me that show before I have to go look it up, that'd be great. Rivers not read 276 chapters of a manga in 2 days recently. Yeah, so it seems everybody who watched it enjoyed Ted Lasso when it was out. Jason Segel, yes, thank you, Chris, thank you. But I got into it. I started watching it, and it's phenomenal. Rivers talked about the manga. It was hard to put down, and he read it fast. Well, sometimes you have to do that. All right. So, who's ready for this week's Archaeology Corner? This Archaeology Corner is pretty interesting, if I do say so myself. No, that one. Still trying to figure out what buttons do what when I'm trying to do it fast. So, this week's Archaeology Corner. Archaeologists have recently uncovered the astonishing scale of Demensis Gora, a 3,000-year-old fortress in the southern Caucasus region. Initially discovered in 2018, drone technology revealed that it is 40 times larger than previously thought, spanning over 148 to 198 acres. This Bronze Age megafortress features extensive fortification walls and stone structures, including a 1 kilometer long outer wall. The discovery offers invaluable insights into ancient urbanization patterns and the interactions between settled and nomadic communities. The breakthrough came in the fall, however, when the high grass from the summer died back, revealing previously obscured structures. This seasonal change allowed researchers to identify key features of the site that had been hidden for centuries, further emphasizing the importance of combining modern technology with traditional archaeological methods. Imagine you're playing your D&D campaign and you come across an ancient fortress this size. How many of your players or how many of you DMs would take this fortress to be your own? I mean, it's already set up with walls. Who's going to attack a 1 kilometer long outer wall? I mean, everybody, but still. You could do so. You could build a new city, a small town, out of this fortress, and set your players up for the rest of the campaign with having disposable income, so to speak, because they could be the lords and the ladies of their own town. So, LiDAR for the win, yes. And that's actually another thing that I do. My undergrad degree in anthropology came with a minor of unmanned aerial systems. So I do drone work. Well, I don't do drone work because nobody will hire me for drone work, but I can do drone work with GPR and LiDAR, aerial GPR, aerial LiDAR, aerial photogrammetry. It's amazing the technology we have at our disposal to use. Rivers players are afraid of an empty room. They probably avoid a fortress unless the story leads them there, LOL. Well, no, of course your players are afraid of an empty room, because every time you open an empty room, somewhere, some shape or form, there's either a false Hydra or a treasure chest mimic. Disposable income? Nah, they got to upkeep. They got upkeep bills. Now they got to take whatever quest I come up with. Okay. If they take the fortress over as their own fortress and don't start a city with shops in it that they can collect taxes from, or protection taxes from the shopkeepers on, then yeah, they would have upkeep costs. But that's the disposable income that I'm talking. You're talking to the rogue here. I'm thinking protection fees for your shopkeepers. River's like pretty much false hydras, and mimic chests. Open a room. There's 100 chests in there, and all of them are mimics except one. You got to pick the one. All right, that's what I got for archaeology corner. The encounter with the thing they ate, their happy memories has rattled them big time. Oh, the thing that ate their happy memories. Oh, I didn't know they had happy memories. Interesting. Well, the next thing is quite big. It's our first question. We have a total of 5 questions tonight, people. 5. Not 10. 5. We're getting big. So the first question of the night comes from Chris. Wrong one. Ah, there it is. Ahoy, Captain. Let me make this bigger so I can read it. Ahoy, Captain. Quartermaster Chris reporting for duty after being furloughed on shore to take care of the missus. I'm hoping she's doing pretty well. While looking up the rules for half species with the 2024 edition, I got the idea for a campaign idea and was hoping to run by the crew. Well, here it is. It's a 2-part. On a far-off island, there are tales of a mad wizard who is creating new Warforged to build an army and conquer the nearby lands. You and your party find yourselves stuffed in a cabin of a ship. Some answer the call to fight the mechanical menace, others to give healing and last rites to the dying. Some may seek to study the magic that gives life to such beings. Others might see a chance to make great profit. The reason matters not, only that you find themselves together when the cabin begins to shake and the sound of wood splintering. You awake to find yourselves the only survivors of the wreck. As you get your bearings, you hear the sound of mechanical clanking and giant steel beings rushing towards you. But as the battles rage on, strange occurrences begin to plague you. Your wounds, though grievous, do not bleed, as expected. Instead, they spark and hum with an otherworldly energy. When one of yours is gravely injured, the truth is revealed in the most shocking way. Beneath flesh plating lies cold, unyielding metal. You are not what you thought you were. The revelation leaves you reeling. Why are your memories so vivid, your emotions so real? Who created you, and why were you set to destroy your own kind? Are the Warforged your true kin, or are you mere tools in someone else's grand design? Well, thank you for the question, Chris. And as always, I have written some things down, and this is going to be a long one, so buckle up. This campaign is rich with potential for thrilling adventures and deep character development. Here are a few thoughts at what makes it compelling. Intriguing premise. The setting of a distant land with a mad wizard creating an army of warforged sets up a classic yet exciting conflict. The blend of magic and technology adds a unique twist. River's rolling up a character right now, Chris. That'll be interesting. Diverse motivations. The varied reasons for each character's involvement. Combat, healing, study, and profit add layers to the story. This diversity can lead to interesting character dynamics and conflicts. Shock and revelation. The twist that the characters themselves are part mechanical is a fantastic plot device. It introduces an element of surprise and an identity crisis that can drive the narrative forward. Existential themes. The campaign raises deep questions about identity, purpose, and what it means to be alive. These themes can lead to profound and emotional role playing moments, especially if you're looking for a role play heavy campaign. Action and mystery. The physical battles and mysterious occurrences keep the players on their toes, ensuring that the campaign is never dull. Now I have a little twist here. How about adding flashes of memories to whom you once were? Would they add to or detract from the general story? Well, I wrote some things on that too. Enhancing depth and emotion. The emotional resonance. Those flashes could evoke powerful emotions, allowing players to connect more deeply with their characters. Memories of loved ones, past achievements, or personal tragedies can make the characters more relatable and sympathetic. Personal stakes. Understanding who they once were gives characters personal stakes in the unfolding story. It adds a layer of urgency and motivation to uncover the truth about their identities. Creates plot twists. Unraveling the mysteries. Each memory flash can be a piece of the puzzle, gradually revealing the character's true origins and the motives of their creator. This can keep the players engaged and eager to discover the next piece of the story. Unexpected alliances. Memories might reveal connections to other characters, NPCs, or even the antagonist. This can lead to surprising alliances or rivalries that enrich the narrative. Flashes of memories offer opportunities for character development, allowing players to explore their character's growth and change over time. On the downside, too many memory flashes might distract from the main plot or slow down the pacing. It's crucial to integrate them seamlessly into the story without overwhelming the players. Exploring the past memories ties into the campaign's themes of identity and purpose. It raises the questions about what defines a person: memories, actions, or something deeper. Characters might struggle with ethical dilemmas if they discovered that they were involved in morally ambiguous activities in their past lives. This could lead to thought-provoking role-playing scenarios. There's a lot going on in the chat. What's chat have to say? You're telling me that I basically get to fight Yawgmoth? How could I not get hyped? Yeah, this is true. This is true. Ron, but I'm a real boy. Okay, Pinocchio. Anticipation. If I am mechanical, can I discover new abilities? Probably. I mean, if you tap into the memories, and in my opinion, if you tap into memories and you had a previous life and this mad wizard is creating Warforged out of real humans, I mean, wouldn't it really be though? Wouldn't it be a wizard and a necromancer at that point? The necromancer supplies the bodies to the wizard who creates who or not necessarily even a wizard, the artificer. Isn't it an artificer then? Mad artificer. But the necromancer supplies the bodies to the artificer. The artificer creates the warforged. The artificer sells or gives the warforged back to the necromancer. So, River, this is all you, brother. Puffy Cheeto, you keep getting memories of being human at some point in the long ago past and visions of strange wizard turning you into a machine. Yeah, that's exactly what you get. I do love me some archaeological storytelling. Being able to uncover lore and who my character sounds like a blast. It's very reminiscent of Dark Souls. I want you to keep that thought in mind here, River, because something tells me that later on in the show tonight, you'll be saying the exact same thing. River, Jiminy Cricket was just a fall guy. The mouse was behind it the whole time. Probably. Someone who's already warforged, life is extremely trying. Ruby, I agree. My first ever Warforged character, I played a Warforged Scout base. Um, Only because that's the first rogue I ever drew up was Eberron Warforged Scout. But the only other three Warforged that I've dealt with was a Warforged Titan and a Warforged Charger. Uh, what was it? The Scout, the Charger, the Titan, and I know I'm missing one more. Somebody help me out here. It'd be in the Eberron campaign book because that's where Warforged started, was in Eberron. The Necromancer could be behind it. To be honest, manipulating souls to store them in Warforged containers. Souls like high level necromancy to me. Sounds like high level necromancy to me. Yeah. And if Skyrim's anything to teach us, how about the soul gems, the purple soul gems? Chris, maybe they embrace their machine side. They trade being able to hide as human for robot upgrades. Okay, I see that, but then again, how about we take it back to 1996? I want to say Bicentennial Man, where Robin Williams trades his robot parts for human parts to become human. Who knows? Never played yet, meaning real life. Oh, I get you. I get you. Touche, Ruby. Touche. So what if we? How how does everybody like the idea? I mean, it seems like it's pretty straightforward and interesting to me. I mean, I would play. I definitely could get down with that. Well, thank you for the question there, Chris. I'm sure there's going to be so many answers either in the comments here or in the Discord or somewhere. I hope you got something out of that. Moving on to the next question. The next question comes from our good friend River. And I like this question because it's what are my favorite player DM snacks? Now, this one isn't so hard. I mean, who doesn't love talking about snacks? But to answer the question, I like ordering pizza for the party. Sometimes I make a Mexi dip, which is just cream cheese spread on the bottom of a Pyrex casserole dish with salsa poured on the top and Fiesta blend shredded cheese over the top of it, baked in the oven at 350 for 10 to 20 minutes. It's great. Plus, I provide lots of drinks, water, tea, soda, and for the more adventurous in the party and those who imbibe, not everyone has to take part, and everyone, even if they don't take part, everyone is welcome at my table regardless. But I do provide wine, mimosas, or a cocktail for some of the individuals who like to drink and chill. With that being said, I also, and I don't know if you consider this a snack, as you can't eat it, but individuals at my table are usually allowed to smoke cigars, or their vape, or a pipe, and not taking anything away from the cigarette smokers, but I find that smoking a cigar, pipe, or vape brings out a classiness of an individual. Now, if you had one of those long-stemmed cigarette holders and you dressed the part, think about allowing it as a DM. But in general, that's what I provide. In terms of snacks, pizza, my Mexi dip, the drinks. See what chat has to say. What's your guys' favorite snacks? What is your guys' favorite snacks? Puffy Cheeto likes gummy bears. Nom nom nom. Kirk likes Oreos. Used to be sour cream and onion chips and Pepsi. Prior to COVID, a group would order Chinese delivery. That's always good. Yukai Lover, I make cookies or some other sweets. I've posted several pics in the Discord. Yes, you have. And if you want to look at those, anybody who's joined the Discord, or if you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord. You can see it. They're all in long rest camp foods. Chris is, if we host a game, we tend to just make a meal for the table. It usually helps to assure a 5 to 6 hour games. Yes, yes. Sometimes I'll throw. Sometimes if we start a game in the mornings, I will throw some chicken or some. Now, I'm kind of bougie. I kind of like my players to like me, and so maybe I'll throw on some steaks, baked potatoes, stuff. That way I know we can get a good 5, 6, maybe even 8 hour game time. But yeah, I know I'm steaks, bouginess with steaks, but if the pretzels or if they're on sale, cashews. Pretzels, cashews, not bad. Pistachios, uh, preferably unshelled, but if not, I can do the shelled ones. I don't. It doesn't bother me. I don't. I like not having to shell my own pistachios, but yeah, Ritz crackers and cheese. Maybe one of those charcuterie boards. Maybe I don't know. Snacks or whatever you want to bring to the table. I typically order pizza for my group because they don't want to stay there for like 5, 6 hours. So if we're there for 2 or 3 hours, we get a pizza. River prefers his pistachios shelled, so he can save those for when he gets home. Uh, Chris, for his COS game, ended up making a literal feast for the dinner with Strand part. Okay, I have a question for you guys. That statement right there. Would you guys, if you guys created a feast, a real feast for your actual players, would you guys consider that a long rest for your party? I would, because the feast is nourishing you. Why would it not nourish your party members? Our games are usually a little after lunch, so we bring our lunches and snack on the cookies I make. River did some grilling during the summer sessions, but my games usually run long because they're once a month, so we're chucking dice for a good 8+ hours. I miss chucking dice for a good 8+ hours, River. I had games that would last entire weekends. Like people would stay over at the house, and we would start Friday evening and not end till Sunday morning. Play all day Saturday. Oh, speaking of cooking, I have both editions of the official DAD cookbooks. I'll post pics on the Discord. Yes, Yukai Lover. Yes, please. Thank you. Most definitely a long rest. I tend to agree on that, Bionic Blonde. You know, River, the only way they get to last that long anymore is you need to finish your campaign and we need to get it rolling on the Discord. And I need to finish my campaign and get it rolling on the Discord too. I'm bad about that too. So, let's see what else. Well, I hope that answered your question, River. That's what my favorite foods are, and everybody's saying, Kurt, I just saw that, Kirk. Dang steaks, I'm joining your game. You got to make it to Oklahoma, Kirk. You got to make it Oklahoma. Um, but yeah, so there's an answer for you there. There's my answer. I like doing things for the people that play in my games and not just be their DM. I'm literally actually you guys join my game. You guys are my friends. I mean, I do things for my friends. So They're still in the first region. I apparently have a detailed heavy. Wow. How many regions you got in that game? We've got the Star Trek cookbook. Anyone want GAC? Uh, sure. Sure. Post some. You know what, Ron? Post some. Post some drink recipes up in there. I want some Romulan ale. All right. Thanks for the question, River. There's 4 regions. Wow. But thanks for the question, River. I've still got more questions from River. Not tonight, but I've still got more questions from River that I'm currently building. Long, hard questions, like next week maybe. Our next question comes to us from. Take a guess. How about Chris? What is my favorite D&D related item? Thank you, Chris, for this question. It's really hard for me to narrow down my favorite D&D related item, you know? I have to go with 2 things, firstly. One, I have to go with my dice. I know it's kind of cliche, but every time I went into a game or hobby store where they sold dice, I was always compelled to buy a set. Don't know why. Just I had to buy a set of dice while I was there. But that's how I got like 12 or 13 or 14 sets of dice now. The second thing is I did like, and for those of you who played 3rd edition and 3.5 may know this program, but I like DM Genie. DM Genie is a computer program for players and game masters running the 3rd edition or the new revised 3.5. You see where it says new revision 3.5? This came out back in like the early 2000s. This DM Genie is everything. It's basically an over-engineered Excel spreadsheet. It'll roll up loot tables for you. It'll roll up monster encounters. You can manage the characters of your party. If your party members had Player Genie and they created their character sheet through Player Genie, you could import their character sheets into the DM Genie, and you yourself as DM could have access to everything your player had. I mean, it's great. I don't know when the last release update was. It says March 26th, but I don't know of what year. I didn't actually go in there and look anymore. But you can still download it. This is off the DM Genie website right now, and I've posted the link in the description. It's dmgenie.com. But it was great. You could time keep, like it would time out how long the encounter was and what a second or what a minute is in game as opposed to real play, stuff like that. Check it out. Go to dmgenie.com. Check this out. For those who play 5th edition, check it out. It'll give you a great insight of what us 3rd edition and 3.5 edition players had to deal with on a daily when we played. But it was great. DM Genie, River used DM Genie. It was super cool. He loved Kobold Fight Club for random monster encounters. Puffy Cheeto has a ton of minis that can be used. They are still in their packaging currently. They are for the new Stormlight Archive TTRPG game that is in the process of being put together. Okay. In-game item, the pipe of smoke monsters in real life, tie between my dice, Jeff Hertford and his custom minis. Yeah, River, I thought about doing my favorite in-game item, but the question didn't really lead me that way, and I thought about doing both, but my favorite in-game item, and maybe somebody in the chat, shoot me out in the Discord. Um, I found it twice. I've only been able to find it twice, and I can't find it anymore. But there was somewhere a breastplate, a I want to say it was either mithril or steel or something, but it was worn by an in by I want to say by a noble guy and his significant other or his partner or whatnot. When he died, he was wearing this breastplate, and his partner had engraved and imbued some magic in it, and with like blue engravings, stuff like that. But it was lost in a battle on a mountain, on a snowy mountain with a bunch of orcs. I cannot for the life of me, and it's almost like it's the breastplate of command, but it's not. It's similar to, but it's not. It has the same properties, I believe, but the breastplate of command that they have now is like a lion's, like a lion, golden lion mane and chain. It's just not the same one that I was describing. So, if somebody can reach out and find it, that's my best in-game item that I've ever come across and loved. Um, Other than that, we used to homebrew any of my characters, any of my elvish mage characters were always of some sort of nobility line, something like that, and my elvish characters were always drinking frost wine or ever frost wine. It was I want to say it was a homebrewed item, but it was a wine that was made from frost grapes, and it was always cold. You never had to put it in an ice chest or an ice box. It was constantly cold, to the point where the bottle would even frost over. Um, but that's those are the in-game items that I like. Now there are some in-game items that I want to create, and I'll go more into detail on that in the Discord. But there's a bracer, like a wrist bracer, that has a green gem in it. It's leather with a green gem, the gem is imbued with polymorph self, unlimited times or unlimited uses. However, you don't get to choose the creature you polymorph into. You roll a D100 and go to that page in a monster manual, and whatever creature's on that page is what you turn into. And you have while you could have the possibility to turn into a dragon, you have the equal opportunity to turn into a crab with a knife. So, let's see. River put this in the chat. Let me see. Let me see what he's got. If you could put that in the Discord, River, that'd be great. I'll take a look at it. Hold on a minute. It's exactly like that, River. But the one um the one I saw that had that, it actually had a picture with it, and I don't know where it was, um, and it's actually part of the lost and legendary items stuff, and I still to this day cannot find it, because it's actually the breastplate that I'm talking about is a legendary item, and it's been lost to history. Nobody knows where it's at. It's kind of a quest item. But I, for the life of me, cannot find it. Let's see. Let's see what else people. Ron wrote a character sheet generator in GW Basic. Wow, on an 8088. 8088. I built 8088s too. My first computer that I built was that I actually built myself was a 286. Um, I did have a Commodore 64 at one point in time also. So yeah, I know. But I'm not that old. I just like antique items. Maybe it was homebrew. I don't know. It could have been, but I don't think it. I did look in the Weapons of Legacy book, and it's not there. I think where I found it originally was in um, a legacy, a legacy or legendary armors quest book, something like that. I don't. I again, I found last time I found it was like 8 years ago. So, and I thought I saved it on my laptop. And when I transferred everything over, I don't know where I put it. So it's just a matter of me going through all of my files and everything. In game, my current ranger, who I've given sort of lumberjack vibe, has a fire axe, a +1 axe, which ignites for 10 rounds via a spoken keyword. Get it, fire axe. I I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, but I hope that answers your question, Chris. That's my favorite D&D items or D&D related items. Um, Chat's got some favorite D&D related items also. So I know that question's more about getting to know me than answering anybody else and answering things for. I'd be curious as to what it's called. If it's a legendary armor, I'm assuming it would. If I knew the name, I could figure it out. River. That's the problem. I got old and I forgot the name. Um, but yeah, it's. I'll find it again eventually, somewhere down the line. Anyway, thank you for the question, Chris. We're gonna move on. We've got two more questions to answer, and then we can get into chat. So time's moving quick, guys. We got 10 minutes before we're at 10 o'clock. Wow. Our next question comes from our very own honorary Chris, Amanda. If I could choose one spell from any class and be able to cast it in real life, which spell am I choosing and why? Ah, Amanda. I had a hard time coming up with the answer for this question because there isn't one spell I would choose if I could cast in real life. Let me clarify. There isn't just one. Now, it would be really cliche for me to say, as a rogue, who also used to play war mages and regular mages and stuff like that, it would be really cliche for me to say, I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast Fireball. But I'm not in my war mage era anymore. And as a thiefy rogue, I could easily request to cast Pass Without Trace or Mass Suggestion. But in terms of what I do in real life, there's only three in which I would love to cast. And I'll stick with one so long as I get the other two cast upon me with permanency. The first two with permanency actually work in tandem with each other and are the spells of Comprehend Languages and Tongues. Primarily because it would allow me to read and understand any language that is written, not in code, just regularly written out. And Tongues would allow me to speak any language that isn't written. And it would allow me to speak ancient dead languages like Sumerian, which, if you remember the show from last week, Sumerian is the language that is spoken or that was spoken in Mesopotamia, which is in now Iraq, which is also the home of the Akkadian Empire. I would, since nobody speaks Sumerian and nobody has spoken Sumerian for like 3,000 years, that would be a great language to read, understand, speak, do all of that. Coupled with the one spell I would cast which is, where is it? Legend, lore. Now, mind you, all these are, I don't know if they're in 5e. All of these are 3.5 spells. But legend lore allows myself to learn the tales of a person, place, or thing. It would give me great insight as an archaeologist as what the person, place, or thing that I'm studying's purpose actually was. Not just what we think it was. And I would be the foremost archaeologist in the world. I would be the Pirate Indiana Jones. But let's see what chat has to say. If you could choose one spell and have in real life and cast it all the time, but just one spell, what spell would you cast? River would cast prestidigitation. Yeah, I can't say that word. Ron, fireball. Yukai lover, panacea. Puffy Cheeto agrees with River. Prestidigitation. River would become the world's greatest janitor. River says all the spells that I have are in 5e. Cool. Perfect. Legend lore is such an awesome spell for a game with tons of flavor and lore. There's so much you could do with Legends lore if you had a character or a player playing a character who has a background in archaeology and you need to find things like the Holy Grail, for instance. If you're going on a quest for the Holy Grail with some guy named Tim. I would also think about choosing Teleportation Circle. Okay. Any level, then either Teleport or Wish. You can't choose Wish. I'm gonna X-name Wish because you could just wish for 1,000 genies and get 3,000 wishes. I mean, you use one wish. Can you wish for another genie? Can a genie grant you a wish for another genie? That's not stated in the rules of the 3 wishes. Prestidigitation. Prestidigitation. Okay. Prestidigitation. Cure wounds, hard to resist. Yeah, Kirk, that's hard to resist. Especially for somebody with my background from the military, I could see where cure wounds would be beneficial. So I could also see where stone skin would be beneficial or bark skin would be beneficial. I mean, there's a ton of beneficial spells out there, and there are just a ton of spells that just are throwaway. I mean, they're just not good spells. That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking, Amanda. Is it against the genie rules? Can you wish from one genie to grant you a second genie? I mean, Jafar wished for himself to be the most powerful person in the universe, and the genie granted him his wish, and he became a genie. Would that be your fate also if you wished for a second genie? Okay, so generic wish, ixnay. Isn't that against the rules? There you go. I'm sure you could, but I expect that's the kind of thing that's like dividing by 0 magically. Clone. Genie clone. Okay. You'd have to ask for another magic lamp. Genie could teleport his brothers, but aren't bound to grant your wishes. But if you get the lamp and he teleports his brothers and you rub the lamp, does that not make his brothers now bound to grant your wishes? Ron would wish to be Q. Q. Okay. I will allow it, Ron. You can be Q. You could be of the Q Continuum. Though this is the Rogue Continuum. Tonight's episode, by the way. Alright, so there's my answer. Amanda, I hope you're happy with my answer. But we do have to move on. It is 9:58 and we have one more question. And unfortunately, I have not seen the individual in the chat who has asked this question. So we're going to ask it anyway. And hopefully we'll get some answers to this individual in the Discord. But the final question for the night is... No, hold on a minute. Dang it, where did it go? No. Alright, we'll just do this. I'll do it this way. Hello, oh friend of the party, uneartherer of uncommon relics, digger of history, and discoverer of ancient knowledge. Rogue, pirate, archaeologist. It is I, your friend, the Bard. Chaz has sent us a question, y'all. And I am so glad that he did. Recently, I created my web store, stupid20.com. I'm not sure if you've gotten a chance to check it out or not yet, but I was curious for your and chat's opinion. What are some designs, slogans, etc. that you'd like to see on your nerdy D&D merch? Obviously, something for rogues, but other ideas for things you'd want to see. Not just designs, but products as well. Thanks, and have a good one. Yaz. Well, thank you, Yaz. Chaz, the Bard, thank you for sending in your question. I have looked at stupid20.com. I looked at it the night that you posted that you were starting it. You have some really good stuff on there. However, you do have an untapped market. There is an untapped market out there that you haven't even thought of. There's a couple of them. I did say I have grand ideas for this, and I hope chat has some of the same things too. How about, for one, drink koozies and dice bags? I mean, who wouldn't want a dice bag or drink koozie that says, I don't care how big the room is, or I didn't ask how big the room is, I cast Fireball? Or t-shirts that say, if you're here, you're not late. And it could be a t-shirt that says that, or and has a D&D board, minis, figurines, big D20 on it, whatever. How about screen printed neckties with sayings and stuff on them? You have a lot of opportunities. But if you want to start off small, and by small I mean you can order like 100 to 500 stickers to start off and sell them, and we can discuss pricing later. But you can make and print stickers of your favorite sayings, the Bard Advice logo, bumper stickers, anything really. Build the brand even bigger. Because once people see these items out in the world, they're going to wonder, what is this about? Here's a question for you. Do you know, in the field of anthropology archaeology, 1 in 10 individuals does not play D&D? Let me say that again. Does not play. 1 in 10. I'm currently on a crew of 2 people here in Van Buren, Arkansas. It'll be 4 by the end of the weekend. But and we both play D&D. By Sunday, when all 4 of us here, I think there's only 1 that doesn't play D&D. But with typically the larger crews that I'm on of 10, 12, 14 people, there's typically only one of the party or one of the group that doesn't play or has never heard of it, doesn't want to play, whatnot. But your biggest advertisers would be those of us in the anthropology community. especially those in the CRM field, which is cultural resource management. Because we are always amongst the people, doing the jobs with people, constantly asking questions, seeing our vehicles, just getting interested in what we do. Those are my ideas. You can tell you tell me, Chet. What do you guys think? Slogans, ideas for merch. I don't know. Matter of fact, my wife just got me this hooded sweatshirt the other day, and it says, "In my defense, I was left unsupervised." I mean, in my defense, I was left unsupervised. Any man should be able to say that. So let's see what Chat has to say. Evil DM merch. Yes, Evil DM merch. Forgot about Evil DM merch. Puffy Cheeto Amanda likes the site. She can't get anything till she gets paid next week. She's a sucker for coffee mugs, maybe a Bard specific one. Barg, Rogue, Paladin, Cleric, Artificer, freaking coffee mugs. Make a collection set. Make a group of collectibles. You got a collection set right there, and boom. Sell them as a pack of 12, one for each freaking party member. And when you get your party together for your D&D sessions, hand them their mug with their character class on it, and fill it with hot cocoa, fill it with coffee, fill it with hot tea, fill it whatever they want, but that's their mug for the evening. I mean, those mugs don't leave the house, but those are just D&D specific mugs. I mean, I know there are people that make their own freaking goblets that they have their drink in. It brings out the ambiance of the game, but heck, if you had custom goblets made, freaking porcelain goblets made with roguish or bardish or clerical or whatever on there, I mean, you've got something there. People would buy that. A shirt with minis that look like Man Short's team. Hey, come over. Who do you think you're fooling? Hey, Flat Earther, what's on the B-side? The room appears to be empty. Dice bag saying D&D swag. A mug that says this mug is not a mimic, probably. I like that, Kirk. I like that a lot. I love that idea. How about River? How about this? Your room, the room appears to be empty. To go on about that, did you try just opening the door? Minis of the peppercorn family. Oh my God. Yes. Who's in here on that minis thing? I think it's Chris. I think Chris showed me a mini that he created for the peppercorn family on that one site that you can. But that gets expensive. You know, you could always do Funko Pops of the Man Shorts crew also. You could go to FunkoPop.com and create your own Funko Pops. I think they're like $25 a piece to create your own Funko Pop. Guys, it's just an empty room. Did you forget about the false Hydra? Put a false Hydra on a hoodie. River would buy you out of those in seconds. And if you guys haven't figured out, we're in chat now. So Hero Forge, yes, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Hero Forge. Put that link in the Discord. I'll check out Hero Forge. I mean, you create your own minis there. Get printed minis, STLs, or VVT copies. Yes. 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 Love the Funko Pop idea. Had one made of the hubby for Father's Day last year. Getting them for Man Shorts crew would be cool. Not just the Man Shorts crew, Puffy. Just get a Funko Pop of a rogue. And, I mean, Granted, the only Funko Pop that would probably be sold out is the Funko Pop of oh it'll come to me. It'll come to me. Um, yeah, no, get a Funko Pop made of anybody. River can't afford to buy one, let alone all of them, but damn, he would like to if they were made. You know what, River? We may be able to if Chaz made a hoodie that said that said or that had a false Hydra on it, you know, we might throw together a fundraiser to buy River a hoodie with a false Hydra on it. Funko Pop of X-Men Rogue is a Jesus. That is great. That is great. So I would like to ask the chat a question, and you can answer in the chat. You can answer in the Discord if you're on the Discord or whatnot. This is episode 3 of hopefully a long-running series. How is it going? We are in chat. A Funko Sarah that could hold her, cheat, or die. Yes, I like it. I like it a lot. Or have it just molded with the cheating die in her hand. So. But I think we'll let my question stand to the Discord. Go ahead and answer it in the Discord. Because it's getting about that time. I would like to thank everybody for being here tonight, and I would like to remind everybody to do the things. Do the things. Share, comment, subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you turn on those notifications. Or join the Discord and you get notified that I'm going live. Like everybody got notified like 3 times that I'm going live. And we had people going 3 places. You'll get pinged automatically when we go live. We will be on again next Friday. Same Rogue time, same Rogue channel. Maybe back in a Rogue Pirate office. Maybe in a different hotel. It all depends. But it'll be here regardless. So with that, it's time for me to say, "Thar she blows." Can't say where's the rum, because I ain't got any. So good night. Have a great weekend.